Right now, Nick Payton-Walsh is on the ground in Ukraine with how the fight has changed.
They flit around fast, hiding each week in a new abandoned shell. Drone operators have been Ukraine's secret weapon for months, but now it is getting harder. We saw this unit in December, but their base back then has been bombed. Yet still, they hunt every day for a single mistake, a Russian who gets himself spotted.
2, 3, 4.
They say the Russians are better at hiding themselves, although sometimes, obviously not.
Yeah, so they've just spotted a Russian soldier carrying groceries, and a dog came out to greet him, so I think it's quite possible that's where some Russians are hiding.
So it begins. The first strike on the window. One drone watching, the other flies into the target.
Давай второй срочно.
And quickly they prepare another. The hunt is no game, but has the tools of one. They lose about a quarter of their drones to Russian jamming.
Действие рэба усилилось.
Да.
Оно стало чуть-чуть ощутимее для нас. Но не сдаемся. Не можем это избежать, поэтому нам приходится постоянно, как змеям, увиливать от этого всего, что придумывать, экспериментировать.
They see the Russians running into the blue house.
Орк.
Its roof clearly hit before a while ago. It becomes their next target. They go in again. It could be a mortar position, they think. Watch how smaller explosions send fragments flying out.
Хорош. Не, ну не факт, что убили. Сейчас посмотрим.
The Russians often have to stay injured inside the damaged building to not draw in more drones.
Они стараются еще ждать, то есть они ждут какой-то момент. Они сразу не убегают.
They go in again. It could be a mortar position, they think. Then suddenly, the power goes out. The internet down and screens black, but remarkably, they barely miss a beat. The commander sparks up his cell phone 5G with the drone feed and a chat group directing the entire attack just from an iPhone. The smoke grows in intensity. They think they might have hit a weapons store.
Там что-то есть.
Что-то.
Походу быка было, да? Там же ничего не было, когда ты залетал.
They never see Russian faces or taste the smoke. The blast noise takes a few seconds to travel to them. But this is still killing, up close yet far away. Strike, launch, repeat, all day. Sometimes it's cheers here, screams there. Other times, the other way around. Now, Anderson, what really is striking about these units is just how relentless those attacks are. They simply do that all day, every day, whenever they spot a potential Russian target. Interesting too, though, this unit based in Kherson, a city that was invaded, occupied, liberated. Well, they are concerned of what they've seen 20 kilometres further away from their position. Russian units amassing. They're concerned they might be trying to have another go at the city. All along the front lines now, Anderson, real concerns amongst Ukrainian soldiers that Russia might be trying to regain some momentum. We saw some of that just outside Avdiivka, which Ukraine had to give up 2 Saturdays ago. Russia moving towards a small village, Latochkina, essentially taking it, Ukraine withdrawing from that. Another sign of Moscow's momentum, and that is leaving many Ukrainians deeply anxious. Their President Volodymyr Zelensky admitting today that of the million shells the European Union promised, remember it's Europe that's going to have to step into the gap left by a lack of American assistance. Of that million shells, only 30% have arrived so far. Shocking, frankly, and they're feeling it on the front lines, Anderson.
Yeah, Nick Payton-Walsh, thank you. Be careful. Incredible to see the work of those drone operators up close. To that point, President Zelensky spoke with CNN's Caitlin Collins. The interview airs tonight at The Source at the top of the hour. Here's some of their conversations, specifically about American aid now being held up in Congress by House Republicans.
You're basically saying that there will be no new success for Ukraine if there's no new U.S. aid. Essentially, this all depends on U.S. aid.
Steps, success forward will depend on USA.
Yes. Not defending line, not only defending line. Because if you defend, just defend, you give possibility Russia, push you, yes, small steps back, but anyway, we will have these steps back. Small one. But when you steps back, you lose people. We will lose people.
People will die. Again, you can see more in the next hour on The Source, 9 Eastern Time, right here on CNN.